What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Happy Monday. Y'all already know what time it is. Welcome back. Welcome back. It's your girl Naja Lee, and this is her court, her rules. You heard the realest women's basketball breakdown on the net, and the only place where hoops meet higher perspective. Okay. Now let's get real out the gate. Let's get real out the gate. Out the gate. Y'all already know what we do over here. We keep it a bean and we call a spade a spade. Okay. Now, the 2026 WNBA draft is shaping up to be one of the most talent heavy drafts we've seen in years. We're talking about 1 through 10. Okay. And tonight, we're not just going to talk about who's good, meaning the 1 through 10. We collectively are going to talk about who fits where, who's ready today, and who might be walking into the perfect situation or the worst situation. Okay. We already know who got the number one pick. Okay. And we already know Azzi Fudd is sitting right there lurking. Okay. She lurking. On the flip side, right? Turn the page with me. Turn the page. Okay. Lauren Betts, okay, Awa Fam may be future franchise bigs in the WNBA. Plus, we got Olivia Miles looking like a point guard in the making. So I'm gonna need y'all, okay. I'm gonna need my Free Your Land Society, okay. I'm gonna need my chat today to hop in the chat. Let's do our WNBA 2026 mock draft, the her court, her rules way, okay, the only way, the realest way. And let's place these young ladies on teams that, we think that they do best at. You feel me? Come on, y'all. I'm going to need y'all help today. Before we do that, each and every episode, y'all know, is powered by For Your Lens, a lifestyle brand encouraging dope people like you to do all things with purpose and intention. Okay, similar to this episode, y'all, because we're going to do our 2026 mock draft and see where the best spots for these young ladies are. Now, over here on For Your Lens, Beyond the Lens TV, home of Her Court, Her Rules, we are on our road to 500 subscribers. So every like, every comment, every share, and every subscription, y'all, is very much appreciated. Okay. Definitely appreciate the love and definitely appreciate the community. Okay. So we about to get into this episode today. I'm excited. I'm excited to do this mock draft her court, her rules way, because I be seeing a lot of little drafts out there, and I feel like the people don't be talking about the team, right? They love to talk about the draft pick and the draft lottery, and just based on that team and that pick, oh yeah, boom, she going third. They got the pick third pick, boom, it's gonna be a match made in heaven. I don't know. So today, let's talk about it. Okay. We're going to do the mock draft our way. Okay. Ain't no rules to this. We just going to stay true to this. Let's talk about the top prospects. Before we talk about the prospects, we also have to, of course, talk about the draft order, right? So let's talk about the draft order real quick. Then we'll get into the prospects, and then we're going to place them on teams that we think they're going to go best or can do best at. Let's go. The WNBA draft lottery. Here we go. Number one, we already know number one pick, Dallas Wings. Shout out to Dallas Wings. 2 years in a row, they have that number one pick. I don't know. I don't know what kind of juju they got going on. But they lose a lot. Okay, so when you lose a lot, more than likely you're gonna get that number one pick. So Dallas Wings, 2nd year in a row, number one pick. Number two pick. Now talk about sauce. Talk about basketball guys. Talk about smart business. Talk about always playing for the next season. Minnesota always have a longevity mindset, always setting up their franchise. They have the number 2 pick. Minnesota number 2 pick is crazy already, right? It's kind of like Dallas trade Luka and then get the number 1 pick. That's wild. But hey, crazier things have happened, I guess. Seattle, number 3 pick. Mystics, number 4 pick. Chicago, number 5 pick. We're going to talk about why all these picks matter a lot. I'm talking about a hell of a lot. 6 and 7, both of those picks are going to expansion teams, okay? 8 is a former expansion team that blew all of our minds last season, the Golden State Valkyries, okay? They had not one, but 2 All-Stars on an expansion team. Come on now. Hello, somebody. So Golden State have the 8th pick. The 9th pick is the Washington Mystics again. So they have 2 picks in the top 10. And then the Indiana Fever has the 10th pick. Okay. Now, we're not going to talk about picks 11 through 15 per se, but let's just take a look at the fact that the Mystics, yet again, have 3 picks in the top 15 is crazy. They damn near rebuilt their roster off picks last year. Now they're going to spin a block and do the same exact. Boy, y'all, Mystics might be, I'm jumping off the porch right there, right now. Let's just flow with me. Mystics next season, depending on how they draft, right? We know the leadership in the coaching. We know Georgia Amore is coming back. Y'all forgot about her. We know Kiki Iria Finn, right? We know Sonya Citron, right? We know Suge, okay? Depending on who they draft and what also happens, I also believe young lady who played for Chicago this year that was 1 year signee, came from the Mystics, Atkins. I believe Atkins is going back to DC. Watch what I tell you, y'all, because she a free agent. I believe Atkins is going back to DC to go reunited with her old team. Okay. They're going to draft well. I believe the Mystics might be a number 3 team in the East next year, sitting behind New York, sitting behind Atlanta. I think the Mystics are right there. I think the Mystics are going to be a better team. Now, it depends on who Indiana draft. It depends on what they got going on in their draft. But it's going to be between Indiana and Washington for me in the East. Okay. But we're not talking about that yet. Let's get into the draft lottery. Okay. So these are our top 10 teams, and these are the teams that we are going to deal with today. Now, let's talk about what ESPN is predicting as being their number 1s and number 2s. And that's what we're going to go, because it's interesting. It's very interesting. So hold on. Let me get back to this. Boom. Bam. So they have Dallas Wings, them being the number 1 pick. They have them drafting Azzi Fudd. Okay. And boom, number 2. We're going to get into the particulars later. Minnesota, they have them taking Awa Fam. Cool. Boom. Seattle, Olivia Miles. Huh. 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 Okay, we'll talk about it later. Lauren Betts, Washington. Don't they got Kiki and Shakira Austin? Maybe they not. Huh. Okay, next. Chicago, Flau'jae. Could work. Most of their guards are probably going to be leaving in free agency. Let's come back to this. Again, we're going to do our draft our way. We see what they saying, and we're going to re-rock this the way we know how. Tanaya Latson, Toronto, expansion team, could work. Cotty McMahon, Portland Fire, expansion team, could work. We don't know. We know Golden State last year, expansion team. And you see what they did, okay? And if they weren't injured, right? If they're one of their best player, Thornton, Kayla Thornton, yes, her, yes, doesn't tear her ACL. What happens now? They would have been the scariest team in the playoffs with a healthy team. So that's beside the point. They got Gianna, right? Or that's what they're thinking. We're gonna see. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna draft them properly here. Number 9, Sarah Williams, potentially going to the Washington Mystics. In Indiana, Medina Okot going to the Fever. Very interesting, y'all. Very interesting. I don't know. Let me put this draft lottery back up here so we can get prepared in our minds, and we're gonna start thinking about, now that we know the teams and we know the order, we're gonna deal with 1 through 10, y'all. First on the board is Dallas. First on the board is Dallas. First on the board is Dallas. Are y'all with the fact, do y'all support ESPN when they say, if this was draft night tonight, Dallas on the board, you on the clock, you got 2 minutes. However many minutes on the board, maybe 3 minutes, I don't know. On the board over here, you only got 10 seconds. But in real life, you got a couple of minutes. Figure it out. UConn, Azzi Fudd, shooting guard, 5'11". She's a senior. She's coming out this year. A little bit of her bio. Y'all know more about Fudd than I do, damn near. I got everybody in the comments telling me that I don't know that Fudd really like that. Okay. Okay. I was wrong. I could be wrong. That's cool. Elite shot making guard. UConn senior, plays off movement, quick decision reads. Okay. She plays at a high level within a well balanced system, not where a system that they can only focus on her. Right. And a lot of times when you get drafted, now the WNBA is in a peculiar space because there's some really bad teams in the WNBA by record, but they have phenomenal players and great talent, future talent that they can continue to mold and develop, not just in basketball on the court, but also um, in their personal lives, in their professional, in the PR world. Let's go. Shout out to Alyssa. Jose has been to 3 of Azzi's games, and Kurt says she's one of her 2 top players. I mean, let me tell you something about Miss Fudd is really, she cold, right? And so one would think that based on this knowledge, I didn't even know that. So shout out to you. Thank you for bringing that information to me. Jose, if y'all don't know, that is the new coach for the Dallas Wings. And as of November 6th, he was formally introduced as their coach, Jose Fernandez. And he took over a team that was led by Rookie of the Year, Paige Beckers, who also was their number 1 draft pick, who also is a graduate of UConn. Again, y'all are very smart, well-educated basketball fans. So y'all know what y'all know. And y'all know that this, y'all, for real, if this is a thing for real, whoo, Miss Fudd is shooting 50, 50, 100, which has never happened before. So the 50, 40, 90 club is something that all hell, right? It's like, wow, if you get the 50, 40, 90 club, I think we got right now in the WNBA is one person. She was 50, 40, 90, and or 50, 40. What was Minnesota Lynx? Nafisa. I forget her numbers was, but anywho, it's not a lot of people like you say. It's very rare. So, but 50, 50, 100 is ridiculous. Talk about efficiency is crazy. My biggest concern with Miss Fudd is that the defense and everything get real tricky in the WNBA. And depending on what team she is drafted on, if she gets drafted to Dallas, that will look phenomenal, right? Because there's so many other pieces. You can't double page, or like it's too many pieces on the guard front that you got to be aware of. So you can't focus or send too many people over there. You got to kind of play them straight up, honestly, and help out when you can, especially as that penetration starts to attack your paint. But outside of that, they got a lot of weapons. And so it could be a similar situation to what she already got now, where you got weapon over here, weapon over there, excuse me, weapon down there, right? You still got Lee Rule. You still got people that's filling up that roster over there in Dallas. And it will be interesting to see if she did go to Dallas, what that would look like. Like, what matter of fact, do you start her right away? Let's say they still have Isaiah James and they still have JJ Quinterly. Now I know Quinterly she tore ACL, so she probably won't. I don't know what her healing timeline is, but say you have a Dallas Wings. Let's look at the roster real quick. Hold on. Let's get to this. Hold on, let's look at the roster real quick. So I ain't talking out of my boom. Okay, boom. So this is our roster here. So you have Grace Berger. She probably gone this season. Grace Berger is probably not with Dallas going into this season. Okay, guard. Harris didn't play all season. She's a little older. I mean, she ain't that much older, but she's a little bit older when you drafting youngers, and you know, so this is up in the air. Isaiah James, she was a rookie last year. Okay, came in with Paige. She's gonna be there next season. Again, the expansion draft is going to be interesting too because there are 2 teams. So the expansion draft can pick from these teams. So we don't really know what backup guards look like. Haley, Haley was a end of the year, end of the season signee. So she's probably not going to be there. Arike is up in the air, you know what I mean? She's a free agent as well. So it depends on what Arike future holds in her mind. Like, where would she like to go if she wants to stay, or if she feels like she wants to be on a team that's contending right now. And if she says that, then that changes up everything as far as what the WNBA gonna look like. Because what if Arike do something crazy and say, "Fuck it, I'm going to New York." I'm going to team up with Stewie and Sabrina, okay? And I'm gonna go ahead and politic with Stewie, Sabrina, Cloud. I don't know. You know what I mean? What if? We don't know. We don't know. We don't know anything can happen. So this is what the guards look like. Again, Quinterly tore ACL, so she might not be playing anyway. That being said, if Fudd was drafted to this team, one would think she probably comes off the bench to be. It really just depends. We wouldn't know what Jose mindset is. I mean, he's coming from college. He taught. I'm about to say taught. He coached at South Florida, and he was there for I think 20 seasons. Hold on, let me see, 25 seasons. So obviously he ain't no dummy. You feel me? He been around. He been outside. So, yo, what do y'all think? If Fudd actually does go to Dallas, does she come off the bench or does she start alongside Paige right out the gate? What y'all think? Based on the roster that they have now, seeing if they keep Arike and Isaiah James, you almost gotta say Fudd comes off the bench. Her defense has been stellar all year as well, locking down the best player every night. You know what? And that's what I compared her on the last episode to, like an NBA mindset, right? Because we always kind of go back and forth over here. I would compare her to like a female Klay Thompson. Like in Klay Thompson's prime, he was the quickest shooter. Klay Thompson can give you buckets without taking no dribbles, right? Coming off screens, just being in shape, being well conditioned, being ready to run all game, on top of lockdown defender. At the time when Klay Thompson and the Splash Brothers were really doing their thing, and Golden State had that 5-year run, Klay Thompson made it so that Steph didn't have to really play defense like that. Klay Thompson, they didn't have a weak link on that team when you have somebody like a Klay that can bust you on both sides of the court. And so when I see Fudd, that's kind of what I see. I'm like, damn, on the next level, Fudd can be one of the best shooters and best defenders, just catch and shoot, and best defenders in the WNBA as far as guards are concerned. Now we got to see how that defense translates into the next level, because strength is a factor, right? Conditioning is a factor. So she's going to take that next step. But you think, like, do y'all think she can be, maybe she put a little bit more muscle on? Y'all think she could be like a Jackie Young type of player, like somebody who really can be a phenomenal defender? She might not be as big, but you know what I mean. And on top of, she can get her bucket. Like, again, you probably are not going to, if you have a point guard on your team, you probably, and Fudd is on your team, you're probably still going to allow the point guard to do the bulk of the work as far as the dribbling, right? But flip side, if you put her in a position, depending on what part of the court she's on, she can take 1 to 2 dribbles, and get to her spot and hit you with the pull up, right? Hit you with the step back, hit you with the side step. So her footwork is impeccable, and that's the thing. And when you got great footwork as a shooter, I mean, you could just get all your shots off. I mean, I would start her over any guard except Paige. She's better than all of them, and a better shooter than Enrique. Well, coming off the last season, Enrique's last season, I'll start her ass over Enrique too. Okay, but that ain't saying much because she's coming off a horrific shooting season. So yeah, and I mean, and especially considering the, to your point, that you would start her over any of the guards at Dallas already. To your point, she already has a great rapport with Paige. So it wouldn't be like, oh, you're new to the system. You might be new to the system, but you already have camaraderie, and you know what I mean, like that unspeakable boom. I know where you at, you know what I'm saying. I just gotta, I know your game. So when you have that, I feel like if you playing a pickup game and you come to the court with you and your boy, right? You and your girl, you pull up to the court, it's y'all two. You be like, shit, I don't care who the other 3 on the team is. I know what we gonna do. Okay, y'all, I just need y'all to fill in. Okay, run the lanes, right? So when you got that type of rapport with somebody, it kind of make the game a little easier. Let me know if y'all would agree. Hop in the chat. One of the best shooters the women game has ever seen. You immediately start her. That's what I'm saying. I mean, you can, but it's just like, it really would come down to Jose and what his approach is to the game. Again, if you, I feel like if you still got Enrique, especially coming off that was her team. So if you still got Enrique and you got Paige, and hopefully Lee Rue is back, so that's your kind of your big 3 right there. And then from there, if you say, all right, boom, let me go ahead and plug in Fudd, continue to bring Isaiah James off the bench and kind of be that backup to Paige because they play similar positions. Yeah, that could be in that fourth player, that power forward. Or you start Lee Rue at the power forward and then maybe get somebody a little leaner, maybe a little taller, a little leaner for your center, or you start Lee Rue at your center and then get like that 3-4, like that combo big guard type of thing as your power forward. So, you know, it can go a couple different ways. And yeah, Fudd is a point guard. I mean, a combo guard. She plays point guard, shoot guard, small forward as well. And that's the thing, like, because she would be in the offense with another guard who understands her game and can play off the ball just as well as she can play with the ball. I mean, it just makes it easier. It makes it easier for her and Paige. Now, if Enrique was still in that trio, I think that if Dallas draft Fudd, then they need to. I believe that they are saying they're parting ways with Enrique, or they okay if Enrique signs somewhere else. I think that would be like the final nail in the, you know what I mean? Like, all right, Enrique gone, boom, we gonna go ahead and rebrand this Paige team. You know, we get the support that blends well with Paige, and that's the biggest key. And so you gotta make it make sense for Paige, though. Do Enrique make sense for Paige? I don't think so. I think this last season proved that they can't play well together. Oh yeah, that's right. She is coming back. You're right. You're right. Let me see. Let me go back to yeah, you're right. We go listen. It's gonna be interesting in a mother again. Plus, you have expansion teams. You know, you don't really know what players these other teams are gonna grab. So that's the real crazy part about what's about to happen in the WNBA. Plus, we still got to get through this CBA nonsense shit. So that's a whole nother point. Fudd is averaging 18.5 points a game, 2.9 rebounds, 3 assists, shooting 49% from the field, 50% damn near from the field, 50% from three, okay, 100% from the free throw, and she's giving you 2.3 steals a game. She's predicted to go to Dallas Wings. She will pair nasty with us as a guard core, a combo guard that can pair with Paige, another combo guard, and gives Dallas a pure spacer late in the shot clock. Whereas what they thought they had with Enrique, they kind of lost, and they're gonna pick that up tenfold if they went on ahead and drafted Fudd. But the T is this though: if she didn't go to Dallas, okay, in a perfect world, y'all, and if we could just pick Fudd or put Fudd on a team that we want to see her on, regardless of what the draft lottery suggested. But let's just look at the top 10 teams, okay? Is there another team that y'all think Fudd would fit better on right now over Dallas? Get into the chat, let me know. Is there another team? Say Dallas didn't have a number one pick. Say this is her core, her rules, and we're putting Azzi Fudd on whatever team we best see fit for her and her career and the mesh and the style of play. What team? Well, I think a player like Fudd can go on a lot of teams. I will say that. Let's start there. But I ain't gonna hold y'all. I think Fudd can go crazy in Seattle. Not gonna hold y'all. Not gonna hold y'all. I think Fudd can go crazy in Seattle. If you put Fudd next to, hold on, hear me out. You got Fudd. You got Diggins. Brittany Sykes. That's your three right there. Skylar Diggins, Fudd, Sykes. Now it get crazy. Because then you go Nneka, and then you go Malunga. That will be crazy. One thing that Seattle lacked last season is just shooting ability. In a perfect world, if this is my draft, her core, her rules, and I say, okay, I'm going to pick where I want Fudd to go. I want Fudd to go to Seattle, y'all. Damn, Dallas. They already got a shit ton of guards. Y'all figure that out with all the guards you got. Seattle, though, they don't have any shooters. They got some gritty players, right? They got tough guards between Sykes, between Diggins, between E. Will. They ain't got no drop that, no just spot up shooters. Just that one person you say you don't leave her open. I can't believe, double her off the screen. Make sure you try. Whatever you do, don't leave her open. They don't have a Fudd. If Seattle had some shooting down there, up there, over there, they about this way. If Seattle had some shooting, I'm trying to tell y'all. So I got, in my mind, in a perfect world, I will put Fudd in Seattle. That's what I would do. I will put Fudd in Seattle. Okay, boom. That's what I'll do. If y'all agree with that, let me know in the chat. If y'all disagree with that, let me know in the chat. But that's what I would do. If I could, I would. Right? Again, let's go back to the draft lottery. So if we got Fudd in Seattle, okay, let's go to the number 2 pick that they are suggesting. Fam. Okay, let's learn a little bit about her. Okay, young Spanish center with length, growth through the roof, and she's already a pro. She plays internationally in Valencia, Spain. She's a center that's 6'3", right? Remember, I just said Malunga, right? Keep that in mind. They kind of similar. But I feel like she got a little bit more edge on her. I don't know. Just let me know. I think it's me, but she got a little edge on her. This season thus far, with some of the stats that I could pull up on her, she's averaging 8.7 points, 4.2 rebounds, and 2.3 assists a game. Okay, that was from FIBA this summer. So, but they have her projected to go number 2. If she goes number 2, they saying that she's going to go to Minnesota Lynx. Perfect develop behind vet pick. Okay. Who do they have over there in Minnesota? They have the co-defensive player of the year, Alana Smith. Okay. She would be developing right behind or alongside Alana Smith. Minnesota can be patient and allow her to develop because they already have a DPOY. They already have another DPOY, Nafisa Collier. They already have an abundance of talent, and we know that if Nafisa doesn't get injured this season, more than likely they are in the finals, right? So they don't have to rush if they did draft Fam. Okay. Now, let's say they did. I ain't necessarily saying I'm rushing, but I'm putting her out there, and I'm putting her right next to Alana Smith, and she gonna give me exactly what Alana didn't give me. Okay, she's gonna give me another punch down there in the paint. Okay, another person that can potentially help anchor your defense and allow Nafisa to actually play a 3. Okay, because Nafisa plays a lot of minutes at the power forward, and if she is able to play a true small forward position, and they can actually start two bigs, right, and get bigs those significant minutes, they're gonna have a problem if they do that. So I like this pick for them. I would definitely, if it were me, and I was Minnesota and I had the number 2 pick, and Fudd is not on the board, because why would Fudd be on the board when you got a number 1? I'm going Fam, just like they said, for number 2. Let's get into the number 3 pick. Here we go. Olivia Miles. Now, Olivia Miles is probably one of the most interesting picks in the top 10 to me, because similar to Fudd, she can go to any team and make a difference right now today. Actually, the top 5 picks, I believe, can go to any team in the WNBA right now and make an instant impact. I'm talking about instant impact. But Olivia Miles is, to me, is point guard in the making. Point goddess in the making, right? She's a true lead guard, a big guard, 5'10", from TCU, senior. Okay. She controls tempo. She knows how to play within her pace, her speed. You can't speed her up, can't slow her down. She's a playmaker, and she loves getting in the paint, touching the paint. She got to get in there. Even if she don't make a decision, she going to get in there, curl on out, get back out there, see what she got. Okay, big on read. You see the goggles? Big on reading the defense. This season, she's averaging 18.9 points, 7.2 rebounds, 7.6 assists, shooting 53% from the field, 36% from 3. She's also given us 2 steals a game and shooting 83% from free throw. The girl bad, right? Who's bad? Olivia Miles is bad. Okay. Now, with a skill set like this, right? Point guard is goddess skill set like this, She's also given us triple doubles, right? I think she's given us 2 triple doubles this season already. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. 1 for sure. 2, I think I might be reaching, but I believe it's 2 triple dubs this season. They have her predicted to go to Seattle Storm because, Seattle Storm has that 3rd pick, right? Storm has that 3rd pick. They say if Storm goes 3, they need to pick Olivia Miles. Now, shout out to one of the guys in the chat and on Saturday, and he said if you have a top 5 draft pick, you pick the best player available. Okay. Regardless of your need, your individual need for your team, what you need to add depth or what you need to replace, what you need to enhance, forget all that. Get the best player on the board. Now, would y'all agree that out of the top 5 players, the best players on the board, okay, are Fudd, Fam, Miles, Betts, and Johnson? Would y'all agree that these 5 are the best 5 players on the board? Let me know. Listen, I can't argue with that. I can't argue with the best 5 players because when I look at the next 5, they not better than the top 5. So yeah, I would agree. The top 5 players are 5 down. Okay. Flau'jae, Lauren Betts, Olivia Miles, Fam, Fudd. Okay. I would agree with that. Now, would y'all also would agree that these top 5 players need to be going to these top 5 teams? Riddle me that. That's the question. Because the people are saying that if you are a top 5 draft team, a top 5 draft lottery, you just get the best player on the board regardless of what your team needs. I'm asking y'all that question because if I am Seattle, does my team need Olivia Miles? Does Seattle need Olivia Miles? No. What Seattle needs is some shooting. They need somebody with that strap. That's what they need. They got point guards. They got guards. They got ball handlers. They got creators. They got difference makers. They don't have no shooters. So if you take that theory and you draft just based on the best available player, which I would agree would be Olivia Miles after Fudd and Fam. What you gonna do with Olivia Miles in the Seattle roster? Like, what you gonna do? Of course, you're gonna start her, but again, though, what does that mean with Skylar Diggins? If you're Seattle and you draft Olivia Miles, are you pushing Skylar Diggins to the 2, and are you allowing Skylar to not be as on the ball? It's a head scratcher because that's actually who Skylar Diggins is. So that I don't know how that would work. Do you draft Olivia Miles at number 3? You wouldn't trade her. Would you? Would they trade their number 3 draft pick to maybe potentially get 2 draft picks in the top 5? I don't know. Or the top, I don't know. But if they did, like, what do y'all think Seattle needs? I don't think they need Olivia Miles, but again, Olivia Miles one of the players that if you get her, I mean, you can't say that you drafted wrong. It's Olivia Miles, point guard in the making. I think she has a higher ceiling than Skylar Diggins. Respectfully to Skylar Diggins, but she is the future. And the way the WNBA is growing and evolving, you need players that can do multiple things and impact the game in multiple ways and can do it consistently. We've seen Skylar Diggins be able to play phenomenal defense, be able to initiate the offense, and be able to score, but we haven't seen her do all 3 of those things consistently every game. It's kind of sporadic, right? So Olivia Miles, I think on the next level can do that every game, at least to a certain degree, every single game, consistent. So that being said, Olivia Miles, if she doesn't go to Seattle, if I drafted her and she's not in Seattle, Nosh, where you drafting Olivia Miles to? Well, y'all gonna call me crazy, but Olivia Miles look good. Look, I'm talking about real good in Chicago. Don't they need a guard? Don't they need a point guard? Don't they need somebody that's smart down there? A point guard, a talented, high IQ point guard, kind of what they thought they had in Courtney Vandersloot, right? Get well soon, Courtney. I don't know if she coming back. She said she coming back. She ain't going out like that. But that's what they need. They need that point guard that can do it all. Olivia Miles is that type of point guard, and I think that she would fit perfectly. She would mesh perfectly with Angel Reese. That's what I would think. But Olivia Miles is the third best player in this draft. And right now, the third pick is going to be the Seattle Storm. That's the lottery. They got Olivia Miles going to Seattle. I'm not mad at it. I just think that Olivia Miles can be best served on another team in the top 10, a team that would need her more, right? Shout out to JTTVP Podcast. JTTVP Podcast always pulls up to every episode that we do over here on Beyond the Lens TV. Talk about a super fan, a super supporter. Appreciate you. Welcome to Her Core, Her Rules. While y'all here, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. We are on the road to 500 subscribers, y'all. And I'm telling you, when we get there, we're going to parlay when we get there. So while we are here, just show some love to me. And I'm going to show and transfer the energy right back to y'all. Okay. I appreciate y'all. Much appreciated. So yeah, I got Olivia Miles going to not to Seattle. I will put Olivia Miles in Chicago. That's what I would do over here on Her Core, Her Rules. Okay. Let's talk about next up. Let's talk about number 4. The fourth best player in the draft is Lauren Betts. Lauren Betts is a 6'7" center out of UCLA. She has legit size and finishing abilities. She anchors the paint with real rim protection. And of course, y'all, she can get her own bucket, right? She got the over the shoulder, right? She just got a lot of poise down there in the paint on offense and defense. Offensively, she's giving us 15 points a game. She's giving us 7.5 rebounds with 3 assists a game, shooting 58% from the field, adding 2 blocks, and shooting 67% from free throw. They're predicting her to go 4th because she's the 4th best player in the top 10. If she goes 4th, y'all, they got her going to Washington. Okay, they said that she would give them true interior identity, more well-rounded rim protection, and high efficiency touches. Again, she's a great scorer in the paint. She's shooting, giving you almost 60%. Okay. I got a couple questions for y'all though. Because if she goes to Washington, what does that mean for the present bigs that's already in Washington? Have y'all thought about that? What present bigs, Naj? Well, let's bring up the roster. Here we go. First and foremost, Georgia Amore will be back this season. That is their top draft pick guard. And y'all know she came out of originally Virginia Tech, then transferred over to Kentucky where she graduated. And yeah, so she'll be back. But we're talking about the bigs. Shakira Austin, right? 6'5" forward. Okay. Kiki Iriafian, 6'3" forward. What happens when they go ahead and they draft Lauren Betts? Let's pull her back up. What does that do to round out their bigs? Well, first and foremost, they need some bigs. Okay, they have Stephanie Dolson. I'm sure, shout out to Stephanie Dolson. She's a little mature, right? She's a little older, right? She's gonna be out of here, y'all. We don't need to talk about this. She's gonna be out of here. That being said, go ahead and get Lauren Betts. You go and get Lauren Betts. Okay. What do you add to your team? A 6'7" center. 6'7". Y'all know what the kid's doing. I ain't even gonna do it. 6'7" center. Okay. Y'all adding her to the mix with Kiki Iriafen. Okay. And Shakira Austin. Now, Shakira Austin could either start or come off the bench. Okay. More than likely, she coming off the bench. You go and get Lauren Betts, 6'7", Lauren Betts, center. You starting her with Kiki Iriafen, and that's exactly how you gonna do that like that, right? Alicia Clark more than likely is not coming back over here. You know what I mean? It's not going. It's free agent. You know what I mean? She's more than likely not coming back. But again, they have 2 picks in the top 10 and 3 picks in the top 15. They can get all of their supporting guards in this draft. They go out and get Lauren Betts for their center. You got a power forward. You got a power forward coming off the bench in Shakira Austin. You got Sonia Citron, your shooting guard. You got your point guard and A Moore, and all you need is a small forward. Well, let's talk about that. You got JC Sheldon. She's 5'10". If you want to get it, a little bit bigger. I mean, you can. You can go and draft somebody. But no, go out there with y'all. Let's talk about the starting 5 real quick for DC if they draft Lauren Betts, Georgia Amore, Sonia Citron, JC Sheldon, Kiki Iriafen, Lauren Betts. What? I did not tell y'all. Didn't I tell y'all if they draft right and they got 2 more picks in the top 15, if DC draft right, they can easily be a number 3 team in the East. Look at that starting 5 I just gave you. And the league don't even got no paperwork on Georgia Amore yet because we ain't even seen her sauce yet. But guess what? You could still draft another guard and you could still draft another big. You got 3 picks in the top 15. DC know what they doing and they coached by Sydney Johnson. Smart coach. Very smart coach. Matter of fact, if they would have had Atkins this season, Ariel Atkins this season, and their team exactly the way they was, or scratch that, if they never trade, or if Brittany Sykes never leaves and requests to be traded, they get into the playoffs easily. Easily. They make that AFC for sure. So, DC, they are in great hands. I'm excited to see what they got going on next season. I really am excited. I ain't too far from them. Well, I'm far enough, but I ain't that far. And I'm gonna have to go ahead and get to me a Mystics game because they turning up out here. Okay. All right, let's look at top 5. Flau'jae, player bio. She's a 5'10" guard, combo guard, senior coming out of LSU. Power guard, applies downhill pressure. She shoots tough shots with confidence, and she always show up with that big game energy, right? Her energy alone can put her as a number 1 pick just off her energy, just knowing that when she show up, for a fact, hey, she show up to play. But she gonna bring that crowd energy with her crazy. And she just be having certain looks and certain connections with her crowd and her audience that can just turn up and just light the team up, like the game up. So shout out to Flau'jae. She's averaging 15.7 points, 4.6 rebounds, 2.8 assists, shooting 53% from the field, 51% from 3, and 71% from free throw. If she shot better from the free throw line, she's kind of always struggled from the free throw, which is crazy to me. But if she shot better from the free throw, y'all see what else? 50, 50, 71. If she was just 50, 50, and 80, she would be in the same conversation with Fudd. Similar. You know what I mean? Fudd don't, I mean, she ain't scoring as many points. And she damn sure ain't shooting as well from free throw. But just to see, and this just is to accredit the NCAA, right? Just to see the amount of dominant guards and just dominant players in general that can be dominant in so many ways, and they play defense as well. No more are the Diana Taurasi's, right? Caitlin is having to learn slowly but surely that if you keep not playing defense, baby, the people gonna turn on you. You gotta know how to play defense on the next level. You gotta want to play defense on the next level, right? And to see all these ladies, guards specifically, shooting guards, right, that do both, the future is bright for the WNBA. The top 10 look crazy. They got her going to Chicago. I'm not mad at that, though. I'm not mad at her going to Chicago. Lord knows they need some help. They need some scores. She makes a great pairing again, obviously, with her former player, her former LSU Tiger, in her former LSU Barbie doll. You feel me? So it makes sense for them to draft Flau'jae and them to rebuild, to start trying to rebuild a healthy identity. I mean, obviously they still have Haley. So if you get Haley, you get Flau'jae, you get Angel back together. I mean, it could work. It could also not work. So usually when the people go to Chicago for some reason, it might look good on paper at some point, or you might be, optimistic about it, but it's a certain gesture. You get to the crossroads, meet me at the crossroads. You get to a crossroads, you be like, this shit ain't working, dog. It ain't working. Blow it up, blow it up, blow it up. So, we'll see how that go. But I like Flau'jae going to Chicago. I really do. Tanaya Latson, number 6 out of South Carolina. She's a 5'8" transfer guardian to South Carolina, right? And she's a certified bucket getter. She is learning that efficiency and learning how to play within a winning structure since being in the South Carolina Dawn Staley system, which is different, right? She transferred in. So she was the NCAA leading scorer last season, and now she's given us 17.4 points, 3.7 rebounds, 4 assists, shooting 51% from the field, 40% from 3, 1.6 steals, and shooting 82% from free throw. So her stats has decreased, of course, within points, but now she is playing for something much bigger than just her individual stats. She already got a lot of stats. She already got scoring leader, you know what I mean? So now she's trying to play and contend for that top four spot, that final four run. So that's what college basketball is all about. It's about March Madness, right? You can be a great scorer, but you live and die in March Madness, and it's about what you show up, what you show up and do. And so, we gonna see how this works. But she's predicted to go number 6. She is the 6th best player in the draft. If she goes number 6, she's going to Toronto. She's going to Toronto. That can go either way, right? Expansion teams always need a face and a scorer to help lift up their new, well-branded or, newly branded team in a new city. The good thing about this is she's going to Toronto, and Toronto love basketball. They love basketball. So to have a Canadian expansion team means a lot because now you're a national but international player. So I think she is the type of person that can be able to wear that well. And her scoring ability is gonna sell some tickets, okay? And it's gonna set the tone. And when you have this type of score on a brand new team, is again set the tone. Okay, we expansion team, but don't think you gonna come over there and just get what you want. Not happening. We gonna see. I like her in Toronto, or even on expansion team in general, but I really like her in Toronto, being that national. It's a team. It's an American. It's an international team, but in a national sport, which is crazy, and I like that. I like that. Connie McMahon. They have her going number 7. She's a transfer forward, 6 foot forward, into Ole Miss, transferring from Ohio State. She's a phenomenal player, great two-way player, physical guard, wing forward, big guard type of player. She can bully mismatches because she is big, she is physical, she is aggressive. She's a guard that can play in the paint with bigs, and she's low key a big. She's just a big ass guard. You feel me? So she can bully mismatches and score in traffic. And that's what you really want to see on that next level, because you want to see people that can take the contact and one. You know what I mean? That's kind of that lets you know that you're ready. She already has a WNBA body. She's already, if I saw her suited up for DC or something right now, right? Connecticut right now. Oh shit, they're going to Houston. I don't know what Connecticut doing. If I seen her suited up for one of them right now, I'd be like, oh yeah, she fit. Yeah, she fit. She like that already. She's giving the team Ole Miss 18.8 points a game, 5.8 rebounds, 2.2 assists, shooting 51% from the field, on 30% 3-point attempts. And she's giving us 1.2 steals a game. Need to be a little bit better on the free throws, scoring 63 or shooting 63% from the free throw line. But again, she's a two-way big guard forward, that can play offensively and defensively, guard multiple positions. And when you are drafting a player like that, you can build around this Kayla Thornton type player. Keep her in your mind, right? A guard. Kayla Thornton probably was undervalued in New York, went over to Golden State in the draft, right? The expansion draft, and became an all-star the very next season. Connie McMahon is going to be drafted to an expansion team, and she could potentially be a rookie all-star, just because of her body type and the fact that she can play multiple positions. Is going to allow her to get more minutes on the court, show her skill level, checking multiple defenders, guarding multiple people. We're going to see her on nights on the FISA. We're going to see her on the Asia, right? In minutes, in minutes, in moments. Not going to be all game. Same time, we're going to see her on a switch on Sabrina. This is what we're going to see, y'all. See it now. See it now. We're going to see her on a Mabry. We're going to see her all around the court, checking everybody on top of scoring. So, we're going to see what happens. I'm excited for her next stage in her career. I think she's going to be phenomenal on the next level. Gianna. So, Gianna is a 6-foot guard, combo guard, forward, whatever you want to call her. She all over the place. UCLA senior. She's a shooter. She's a spacer. And she's that archetype. She can really do it all. Her movement and shooting ability opens up the floor. She's never going to be still. She's never going to be complacent. She's never going to be parked in the corner, just sitting there waiting for the ball. She's going to move. She's going to roll off screens. She's going to try to get you tired. She can put the ball on the floor. She can check multiple positions. She does have a strong body type. I wouldn't say that she's super like brolic, but she will be physical. She's not going to shy away from contact. I love that about her as well. Averaging 14.3 points, 3.9 rebounds a game, 3.3 assists, 52% shooting from the field, and she's shooting 45% from 3, giving you 1.3 steals a game and shooting 90% from the free throw. Again, well-rounded, balanced player. Okay. She's paired next to Lauren Betts. Okay. They got some studettes over there. I was about to say studs. They got some studettes over there in UCLA. It's no reason why there's the reason why they're a number 4 team right now. I believe the top 5 teams in the AP poll that just dropped today, the new poll dropped today. I can pull that up a little bit later. It is a little bit of movement, but the top 5 teams are going to stay the top 5 teams all season long. I don't think it's going to be no surprises there. None. Unless something crazy happens with 4 and 5 and them flipping, if somehow if UCLA loses a game before LSU, then we can see that. And if it's especially like a ranked team or a in-state team, a rivalry game, if it's something like that, I can definitely see 4 and 5 flipping real quick. But I think the top 5 teams are going to be exactly that, right? So that being said, I think that if if Gianna goes to get drafted to Golden State Valkyries is what they're predicting as her draft team, because Golden State Valkyries are the 8th pick. They get Gianna. That's gonna be a problem. That's gonna be a problem. I think that's a great look. I don't know if there's another team that I think that she could fit better on. Especially being 8, one would think. I don't think Washington Mystics, a draft team, anybody could really go there. So of course that will work. Um, Seattle got a lot of. Well, she can go to Seattle too. She definitely can go to Seattle. Put a big shooter out there. That might work. That might work. I like that in Seattle too. It could actually work in Minnesota. I ain't gonna hold you. Gianna could work in Minnesota, but Minnesota got a number 2 pick. So they just wouldn't make sense. Right? So, but is she the second best shooter out there? Well, if Minnesota don't go and get Fam, I think the next best I think they'll get Flau'jae. But I think they're going to get Fam for sure. Minnesota. I think they need another big down there. We saw Minnesota Lynx being a little vulnerable, especially in the playoffs, because they just don't have bigs. Now, they going to get their big in the draft, especially when you got that number 2 pick. So yeah. Then let's get to the top 9 pick. We got Sarah Williams. I don't know why I sound like I'm on this house. Sarah. We got Sarah Williams. Sarah Williams. She's a transfer, okay, 6'4" transfer into UConn, forward, center, senior. She is able to really anchor your defense, and she provides you some versatility on the offense as well, because she is a phenomenal scorer. Now, granted, her stats have dipped a little bit or a lot of bit in the Geno system. I mean, she doesn't really need to do as much as she did before. Believe with Mississippi State, she don't really need to do all that. So you come over here and you get paired up with the other Sarah. You get paired up with Fudd. You know what I mean? You get paired up with Kiki. KK. You got so much help and assistance around you, and now you are learning system basketball, team basketball, winning mindset, culture, building great habits. That's what you transfer over. So stats don't really matter at that point. You also transfer over to ensure you get a top 10 draft selection. Okay. So again, so the stats don't matter. 7.6 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist a game, shooting 54% from the field, giving us 1 block, and shooting 56% from free throw. So of course, free throw got to get better. We've said that a couple times about a couple players, but if she indeed does go to the predicted team of Washington Mystics, okay, remember, didn't I say they gonna draft number 4, Lauren Betts? So why would the Washington Mystics draft Lauren Betts and Sarah Williams? Why? Why would they do that when they have Kiki, Shakira, okay, Why would they? Why would they do that? Oh yeah, you got Dawson. Dawson ain't gonna be there. She 33. Dawson gone. Whatever. Bye, Dawson. Nice to know you. You got Kiki and Shakira already. Okay, so you gonna go draft two more bigs in Lauren Betts and Sarah Williams? I don't know if that makes sense for DC. Now DC, they must got a thing for bigs down there in DC, because when they drafted Shakira Austin, they had Aaliyah Edwards, and then the very next year they go Shakira Austin, they go Aaliyah Edwards, and then they go Kiki Iriafin. Right? So I don't they just love bigs over there. I think they understand that bigs have a lot of value, especially like really good bigs. They got a lot of value in the WNBA. So I think that maybe if they feel like if they draft the best big available, then they can always use that big as trade bait. I don't know why they would get Lauren Betts. Let's go back. Why DC would go and draft Lauren Betts and Sarah Williams. I don't know why they would do that. But we gonna see if DC drafted Lauren Betts and Sarah Williams. Do you still run with Kiki starting at your power forwards, Lauren Betts starting at your 5, and then what you bring in, and you maybe you subbing two bigs at a time? So maybe you sub Kiki and Lauren Betts as a package. Maybe they're a package deal, and then you sub them out, bloop, and you bring in Shakira and Sarah Williams. So you keep Shakira away from playing center minutes, and you keep her in that power forward, small forward type space. You can do that. You could do it. I just don't know. If they didn't draft her, the very next best player will be number 10, Medina Okot. She plays for, you already know, South Carolina, 6'6" center, a beast, true size center with rebounding and rim protection potential. Not a potential, hell, ability. Okay, she's a beast. Her next to Joyce Edwards, stop playing there. The March Madness is going to be UCLA. I don't think they got enough. LSU, I don't think they got enough. I think really the two teams that got enough, South Carolina and UConn. I think they got enough depth, guard wise and big wise. But when you can start Joyce Edwards and Medina Okot, and then on the flip side, UConn, you can start Sarah and Sarah. Just get me just fast forward to me. Get me UConn and get me South Carolina in the championship. Just get me in that championship game, UConn and South Carolina, because I want to see the bigs. I want to see Fudd. I want to see Fudd and Raven Johnson. I want to see Fudd and Tessa. That's what I want to see. I like Texas. I like what they're doing. They're doing great things. Shout out to them. Shout out to that organization. They got some great players. Good for them. Nice dresses, nice gowns. However, I want to see South Carolina Gamecocks and UConn Huskies. That's always the matchup I want to see. And I always want to see Gino versus Dawn. That's always what I want to see. I'm always going to put my money on that. Okay? Got to be talking fast like this. That's what I want to see. So, that being said, South Carolina center in Medina. She already told y'all what the averages are, right? 15 points, 11 rebounds, 1.3 assists, 64% shooting from the field. Not shooting that great from the 3-point line. That's okay. 25%. We know that's going to improve as she goes into the WNBA. Giving us 1.2 steals a game and 1.6 blocks a game, right? Filling up the stat sheet. If she goes to Indiana and she is predicted to go 10th, she is predicted to be the 10th best player, and Indiana has the 10th lottery pick. If she goes to Indiana and you pair this young lady up with Aaliyah Boston, oh my word. If you pair her up with Aaliyah Boston, Let's look at the roster. If you pair her, if y'all F around and find out and y'all give Caitlin Clark not one, but two bigs to throw to pass to oop to no look to bounce pass to tween. Don't do that to Caitlin. You give her Aaliyah Boston and Medina. Medina Applebaum, Aaliyah Applebaum, Caitlin Clark gonna go crazy. You give Caitlin, Medina, and Aaliyah if y'all want to. She going crazy. Let's look at this roster. Let's look at this roster. We got a lot of free agents here. We don't know what's coming back. We don't know what's coming back. They probably gonna move on from Natasha Howard. That was cool. Good experiment. Gotta go. Next. We know Caitlin coming, right? Boom. We already know Caitlin. We know Lexi Hull. We already know that. We know Ari McDonald. I know what she got. She got signed, hardship contract. Our favorite, most hated contracts, them 7-day bangers. Hate them damn contracts. Give women real contracts. But this is why we going into the CBA. If she is on this team, you have a certified backup for Caitlin. Okay. You have Lexi Hull, your starting shooting guard. Your three. If Sophie Cunningham is on a team, that's who you got. If not, you see what you got. You may or may not have Bree Hall again. She was a hardship contract. She might more than likely won't be there. Odyssey Sims, more than likely, she ain't a 3 guard anyway, but hardship contract won't be there. Ariel Powers, hardship contract. Hell, we hadn't seen Ariel Powers in the WNBA in like 4 or 5 years. More than likely, she won't be there. Shea Petty, shout out to her. She's a guard. Another 7-day banger, hardship contract. She won't be there. Kelsey Mitchell. Caitlin Clark. Kelsey Mitchell. Lexi Hull. Aaliyah Boston. Medina Okot. That lineup healthy under this coach probably is the number 1 team in the East. I put my money over them over New York. I will put my money on them over New York. New York gonna have a new coach too, right? Hello, what we doing? So, I don't know. I like this. I wouldn't change this. Again, this is the draft lottery. This is the top 10. Indiana got that 10th pick. I would definitely put Okot next to Boston. And that's how I'm gonna roll with my top 5, my starting 5 for Indiana. Okay, let's run it back. We got Caitlin Clark, we got Kelsey Mitchell, we have Lexi Hull, we have Aaliyah Boston, we have Medina Okot. Now that's if you want to bring Aaliyah Boston out of your center and bring her as your power forward. But imagine you starting your bigs in Indiana next to, powered by Caitlin Clark. If she has a 6'5" big and a 6'6" big in her starting lineup. Y'all do that to Caitlin, she gonna smoke y'all boots. I'm just saying. I ain't saying nothing, but I'm saying that. You get Caitlin 2 bigs. She already led the league in assists with 1. And Kelsey Mitchell turned up a whole nother level last season. So you give Caitlin stronger in her body, stronger in her mind, stronger in her spirit. Pull up this season with a profound Kelsey Mitchell, with a rejuvenated Lexi Hull. Y'all know how her game elevated coming off of the season in Unrivaled. So her game gonna elevate, take another jump going into next season. And then you put her on, you put number 10 draft pick on that squad. Come on, man. That's filthy. That's nasty work. That's filthy work. I don't know. Don't do that. Don't do that. Shout out to y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Her Core Her Rules. Y'all already know how we get down over here. I appreciate y'all. Everything is always appreciated. Nothing is taken for granted over here. I appreciate every like, every comment, every chat engagement, and definitely every subscription. Again, we are on our road to 500 subscribers. So we appreciate all the engagement that allows YouTube to tell the people where we at, what we doing, how we cooking, how we rolling. You feel me? You know we do everything with purpose and intention over here. So I'm glad that y'all pulled up today. Pull up Wednesday. You know, I might not again. Every Wednesday I normally do Cavs State of Mind, but they've been blowing my mind. They've been blowing my top. I don't know if I'm gonna give them the time of day this Wednesday. They playing right now. They on the boob tube right now. I don't even know what the game hitting for. I don't even know what the score is right now. I don't even want to think about the Cavs. But every Wednesday I do Cavs State of Mind. This Wednesday we're gonna spin a block and we're gonna talk about some more women's basketball because the Cavs they need a break from me apparently. Okay, and I definitely need a break from them. So this Wednesday, don't even worry about that. We're talking about her court, her rules yet again this Wednesday. So spin a block Wednesday at 6 p.m. We're gonna kick it back. We're gonna talk about basketball, the her court, her rules way, the up top way. You already know how we do it, how we rolling. Again, I appreciate everybody for pulling up, for rocking with me, because I rock with y'all. Wednesday, 6 p.m. Y'all know what to do. Pull up the For Your Lens, Beyond the Lens TV. We're gonna do it all again. Peace and freedom, everybody. Everybody have a great night. Stay safe. Keep your head. Y'all already know. It's your girl Naja Lee signing out. Peace.